Maybe that was a bit loud. Ohayo. Ohayo gozaimasu. Are we glitching? I think it's okay. How are we doing? Good morning, good morning. US, Toronto. Gang. Early. Everyone's on time. Welcome in. It is Friday morning. Yeah, it's a beautiful sunny day. A little hot for my liking. But I think we will manage. I've got a little fan on. Hopefully you can't hear a droning in the background. I got my small fan on, but I got it really low. I hope we are all doing well. Chickenmeister, Spiegel, Willie, Exetios. I'm so bad at reading names. Spiegel, good morning. Nerdheart, Vivid KP, good morning. Vivid, is your test printing finished? Are you nearly there? Are you ready for a main batch? I haven't seen any updates. Maybe you put some... I got it right, thank you. It stresses me out, the names, you know. Anyway, I haven't got much to say of a preamble, except that I don't have any official carving work from Mokankan, so I'm going to be working on the bonsai again. It does make it seem like I'm really not doing much work. Until I started streaming, it was just manic all day, every day. And then I've just been waiting for a next design. That's still going to take a while. So I've been sending off Are we lagging? Oh no. Am I frozen? Frozen on my screen. Oh no. Are we back? Okay, I'm back. Did it freeze for you guys as well, or was it just me? It paused for a second. Okay. So, what was I saying? Yeah, like I was just all go all the time, and now I'm waiting for designs, and yeah, it makes it seem like I'm just doing my own work during the day. Usually, like, I'm really doing Mokankan work all the time. But it's been good because I actually finished my Senchefda prints I was working on. Finished all the colour blocks for them. And I got like a real nominal test print just at my desk here. Like a 30-minute test print, just go really quick. All with one brush, just like using different parts of it for some other colours. And I'll be ready to print that. I'm not sure where I'm going to be printing that. Probably I'll go to the Kobo, Asuka Sensei's Kobo, but I need to talk to him. I think this weekend not possible, so it'll have to be next weekend, which is cutting it a little fine for me. I'd like to have a little bit more time. Should take 1 or 2 days to print, so I can do it over a weekend, depending on the number of copies I'll make. I guess I'll make about 50, but they're really small. Each print is like really quick. Anyway, let's get to carving. Talking too much. The 4NKP1. I can't read that name. Welcome in. First time chatter. Welcome. Let's get my stream manager up. Come on. Stream manager. There we go. Right. Today we're going to be working on the scroll. And I got to clear some of this paper out first. So let's start with that actually. Quilter. I'm glad you're here. I'll be showing a little something later. Quilter has sent me something, and I'll show you what she sent me a little bit later. It's really impressive. I don't know fully the reason why Asuka Sensei was so strict on this. He wasn't so strict on this, but he did say it to me a couple times when he saw me doing this. Always using the ring finger to do this job. I guess it's because, I don't know, it does seem to make sense. It feels natural, but maybe that's just because that's the way I've been doing it. Did I miss the camellia oil? No, I'm not going to be using the camellia oil just yet. I only use the camellia oil on the small patches I'm going to be carving next. But before camellia oil, you want to remove as much of the paper as you can. And I got a good paste here, so I can really take it back to quite a clear resolution. And a few of you are going to be thinking it's a little bit gross using it's like just a touch of spit. And I just wipe it on my hand like that to get most of it off, and then I can re-up. But spit is used a lot in carving. I've disconnected again. This, I don't know. You can do this with water, and I know there's a few people who do it with water, but none of them are professionals. All the professionals just use a little bit of spit. It's just lazy, I guess. But it's so much quicker. You can get just the right amount on. The other place we use spit is for carving, for sharpening. And there it actually does make a difference. Mostly you put the water on the block and you do that, but if you just like add a little bit of spit to it, it like thickens up the paste just slightly. It's gross to talk about, but like it does. If you're easily put off, I won't do the spit on stream, but if you just a little spit on it, it like has a different viscosity. I'm going slow here. I want it nice and clear, but I also don't want to take it too far. So I'm really not adding much liquid. Good morning, good morning. Taryn never learned Let's Peek. I'm not no, I didn't learn that. I don't know what Let's Peek is. Can you explain? It's where you replace the letter. Ah, okay. I never knew there was a name for it. Well, I replace the letter 4 for an A and stuff. Yeah, I know that, but during stream, should I go back and no? Dank plank. There you go. I can do it. I wasn't assuming that that's what it was. I thought it was like their birthday or something. Thank you for that. See, on the VOD, that wouldn't have shown up had I not read out your thing. They would have just thought that the name was unreadable and I'd have got away with it. But now I've read the name, everyone just realises that it was just 2 4s in there. Now I look like an idiot. It's again, the last stream. What was the word? I went to bed just like so demoralised, like so disappointed in myself. I just couldn't. You know, sometimes you start to say a word. I guess it's happened to me. It doesn't happen to me in daily life, but on stream it's happened a couple of times now. You start saying a word and the word starts to like just sound wrong. And the more you try, you get tongue-tied. And physiognomy, yeah, that was the one. I know the word, I can say the word. Usually it's okay. Are you testing me there? You wanted a repeat of the same thing, Voxel? Or were you actually helping? I'm not sure. You wanted to see another stun lock. There was no clips made, so 50-50. So I'm okay. Hopefully that one just like dies a quiet death. Oh, you can't even see what I'm doing, sorry. So the reason I leave this is because especially when a block's going to take a while, like I knew this one was going to take a while, because I can't work on it full time. I leave the paper there just to protect it. If it's a smaller print, I'll do this all over before starting carving, because then I can just like go through and get everything done really quickly. And I don't have to stop to do this. This stuff, I guess I used a lot of pressure with the Baron. I've got a really good pace, but it means that this final layer has like some glue in it. It's not coming off super easy, but it's coming. Got a beautiful resolution on the paste though. Is this a regular Gampi? This is Awazeshi. So that is, it's a really thin layer of gampi, super thin, like thinner than the 3 Monme stuff that's like considered thin, but it's made with like a pulp with it. So I guess the way it'll be machine made, but the concept if you were making it by hand would be dap in some gampi and then you dip in some just like pulp, and so when you paste it down, the pulp peels away from the gampi and you're left with just like the gampi on. Probably need to update what? Sorry. Description? What description? The going live description? The hyperlinks are broken. Ah, okay, for the Nightbot. Sorry, I was really... The links are broken. Thank you for that. I will do that after the stream because it's just too much faff to do now. We are all ready to go. This is all cleared. I've lost this connection. Oh, what a nightmare. Okay, should we try and do this now, or is it just faff? Can I do it from here without... Give me 1 second, everyone. Sorry. I should have it. Nightbot. Then scroll down to ACN. It's under bonsai. Yeah. Edit. Update. We've got it. Do you want to try it again? I think that should be updated now. Thank you for that. Focus on carving, that's your main content. Yeah, let's do it. So let's carve some of these cliff shapes. I'm going to avoid the goat. I'd like to really focus on that and do it off stream. I really don't think my carving is as nice. There we go, it works. There is a typo in there, the Woodblock. I'll change that one later. Anyway, let's just get some carving. It's already 15 minutes in. Are we good on camera? I'm going to start here. It's so hot. Let's turn that up. Sorry if it's noisy, the fan, but I am a little bit sweaty today. Fix it later. So yeah, clear it as best as you can with your finger. Take as much off, and then if you want to, that's when you add the camellia oil. It's a hard piece of wood, but I don't know if you can hear that, the little thin lines on a goat. Yeah, they're a little bit thin. And thin lines, like if this is on boxwood, it'd be a simple thing, and I think I'd feel more comfortable to do it on stream. But because I'm not 100% sure about like the hardness of this block, it's pretty hard, but it's like it's not S tier. It's like a B key block. It's nice. It's smooth. There's not many imperfections, but there's a little bit of that gunk, 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 gunk. So I'd like to take my time and go really carefully on that. It did pick up a little tick. Oh, it picked up the little sounds. Yeah. When you've got a really, really beautiful hard piece of cherry, you don't get any of that. It just straight through. Mugicha? No, not mugicha, coffee. But I had a bit of a cheat this morning. I got some sugar and milk in it. I don't know if we talked about this before, the order for carving curves. I think we did, but I'm not sure we really linked it to straight lines with like wiggles and curves in them. We talked about it with circles. When you're carving a curve, you always want to carve on the inside of curved first. And the same concept applies to lines like this. So we always want to carve the inside first. So there's a curve on the inside here. Let me get better focus. Now this is where I'm carving. Focus the camera. Let me just angle that a bit up so we can get a little bit more on cam. Carving here. So yeah, there's a little bit of a curve on the inside here. So I'll carve that first and then I'll come down the outside and carve this. If it's just a small deviation, you can just carry it straight through. But if the deviation gets quite big, then you always want to carve on the inside. And then if there's a line with multiple swiggles, you'll rotate, you'll do this inside, outside, and carry that outside into the next inside, and then rotate, do the outside, carrying into the next inside. Fixing the inside of a curve is really tricky. It can be done, but depending on the wood grain as well, if it's going in a difficult way with the grain, it can be more tricky. So it's always better to match the outside to the inside rather than doing it the other way around. Almost an invisible goat. The goat will stand out because there's going to be colour all around it and it will have no colour. So the dark lines on it there will look much darker than they do on this wood here because there's no contrast. So I've deliberately gone really, really thin on them. So, well, one is that when you print it on wet, thick paper, which I'm going to have to use for this nice, thick, luxurious paper, it fattens out a little bit more. So I'm carving it a little bit finer to compensate for that. And also, it will be stark white. There'll be zero colour on it. A little bit on the legs, maybe, a shadow, I think. But mostly no colour at all. Any secrets to not obliterating a line when the tick starts happening? Go slow. It's difficult to explain. It's like a forceful softness. You can't be clenched up tight. You need to be really stable so those ticks are not going to push through. But you can't overgrip because then you'll lose all taste in the line. So it's a bit of a contradiction, but you need to be really you need to sort of lock the elbow so you're in full control, so it's not really able to lock, which sounds like just clencing tight, but the actual grip on the knife needs to still be really loose, so it's sort of tightening things up higher up in the chain rather than at the point of contact here. That's something you just have to do. It's not really teachable. And of course, when you know that there's a spot that's like that, you can slow down a little bit more, take your time a little bit more. The times it gets you is when, like it happened to me there, you think everything's fine, the wood's really been okay here, and then you move over here and you carve this little line and suddenly it got me. That's what got me the last stream. There was like a little curve. It was down here, and the wood sort of like, there was a soft bit, and I went and I wasn't focused. Yeah, firm but relaxed. It's just practice. So today I will be going to Mokahunkan. Dave's asked me for some help with making some blocks. So I will go over there just after stream. We'll have lunch together and then I guess we'll be making some blocks. And I'm going to press him to make a decision on my next project. I always need like a second project in the background. And that was Kamakura, but I haven't had a big project in the background since Kamakura. It would have been much better if we started it a while ago, but it's not been a top priority for them to decide on one of those. So I've been throwing suggestions. Sorry for keeping drinking. I need to have my morning coffee, and I didn't get a chance before. I think these are going to be some nice lines. Should we move over and finish off the branches, since we're on camera for that? So yeah, get some blocks done, and then we can finally see if any of that wood that we got cut recently at Kiba is any good after 5 years of sitting there aging and getting ready to put on blocks, we get to see if it was worth it all that time. I really don't think I'd like to be in the business of creating wood blocks like as a main profession. It seemed like everything's a gamble, especially in the early days. I guess when you get a bit better at identifying, like from just looking at the tree, what the wood inside is going to be like. But there must be so much stuff, especially while you're training or like learning the craft, selecting and choosing wood. Like stuff that you purchase thinking, oh, this is great, and it was so cheap, it was a steal, and then you cut into it and there's like a big crack running down the center, and it's really not as hard as you thought. It's mostly pith. Hope there's a fallback plan. Yeah, I won't be going in. Oh, for the wood. No. There's a bunch of different stuff though, so there's going to be something that works there. And you know, beggars can't be choosers. Like, that's the wood we have, so that's the wood we'll use. If it's usable, and nowadays the stuff that's considered usable is like very broad. If it is usable, then it will be used, even if it's no fun to carve. I had a couple of suggestions for him for what I'd like to make. Maybe you guys have some suggestions as well. If you do have any print suggestions for some big projects for me to work on, put them in the prints and things on the Discord. There was so much variation in the last blocks I made. One was really soft, almost like magnolia, and the other was pleasant and hard and smooth. Best yet. Yeah, that's how wood sort of goes. You just don't know until you, like, even up to the point you get a block, it feels heavy, you knock on it, you put it down and you start carving, you're like, oh, this is so fibrous and brittle, and ugh. Remembering the Carver Dave Bull. I suppose that's a video that people are expecting me to make one day. I'm sure there'll be a bunch of people making those videos. I'm not very eager to make that. I vote for a Yoshida reproduction. I saw an interesting Toshi Yoshida print. It was two birds in a cage, and I thought that would be really nice. I guess we could even make it on Tuban instead of a full Orban. I guess my assumption would be that the original would be an Orban. But I think that would be nice as a smaller print to make it even more delicate. I don't know how to feel about Toshi. Like, it feels really harsh, but obviously he's not as good as his father was. He's not in the same league. He made some really interesting prints. And I feel bad for him because it was like sort of in his father's shadow, just because his father was so good. Soviet, thank you so much. Arigato. I appreciate you. It can be difficult for children of lauded, talented people, and I guess celebrities as well. It must be tough. Anything he did was always going to be compared to his father. I like some of his abstracts. Yeah, some of them are really interesting. The African stuff as well, it's really interesting, and he's obviously experimenting. They're not my favourite, but they are like really impressive. If you stand from a distance, they're really interesting. He actually wrote a children's book as well, you know. I've got the children's book he made. The reason I was talking about that is because that bird print, if you'd have told me that was made by Hiroshi, I would have believed you. It's really beautiful. It's really well done. Good composition, everything. I think probably it won't be another Yoshida print. I have a couple of things that I really, really, really want to do. I haven't been able to do follow goals. Thank you, thank you. I want to make a bijinga. So bijinga means beautiful woman. These are the beautiful woman prints, like the prints I showed you on last stream. So I'd like to make some sort of bijinga. I wanna carve nice, delicate lines, and bijinga have the most delicate lines, like in their hair and stuff. So I want to have some fun, and I want to flex a little bit. Recently, I mean, the adolescento prints, they're interesting. They're attractive prints, but like in terms of carving, Matt, I don't have a line on this print that's as thick as the lines on those prints. Like, this is about this thick line on my print is like a thin line on their print. And so in terms of carving, it's like, if you're not using a skill, you know, you start to backslide, I guess. And I think it's really not very good for me professionally if I'm just doing like those types of lines. So I want to keep improving, and I want to challenge myself on some like beautiful work, some beautiful lines, which is part of the reason why the lines on this go are so thin. Because I get to choose, you know. Not that my brushwork is particularly beautiful. It's fine. It works for this print, and it'll look nice carved, but if you were just to put my brushwork versus like Utamaro or Hokusai on a really like deep level, mine would look probably quite amateurish. I think they look attractive though. I'm not claiming to be a master with a brush, not by a long, long way. So I'd like to do a bijinga. So I've sent him a couple. Most of them were not the Utamaro stuff I showed you last stream, but they were Shinhanga bijinga. The last print had a lot of gomazuri, the mottled printing. which was a little tough for the printers, and so I was trying to choose one with like not too much gomazuri or no barensuji. Something that was more manageable for printers, because the printer difficulties we're having at the moment. And it's kind of tricky to take a printer out for a month, you know, to get a print done. So it's got to be printable. And I found some key blocks on ukiyo.org. I don't know if any of you, I'm sure most of you know that website is great. It's like a really big database of lots of woodblock prints. It's a fantastic resource. It like draws images from all different museums and stuff, and it links to the museums so you can see their pages as well. Thank you. Foxwell's on it this morning. Let me get into my sent. What was the sent emails? Let's start. Who was the person? I've got it. Okay, I've got the link. Let me send it to you. Post that in there. So these are by Ishikawa Toraiji, and he did sort of like graphic, sort of graphical styled bijinga a lot. Lots of them are sort of half naked women, but they're not like super lewd. They're a little bit tasteful, I think. They're kind of like 19, what would it be, 50s pinups type thing, made in woodblock print, sort of illustrate a graphic style. But I found on ukiyo.org that they had these just impressions from the key block. If you type his name in and just search through, what is graphical? It's a word I'm using to describe it. It's sort of more towards the ukiyo. Shinhanga often leads to more like a classical Nihonga style painting where it's like really subtle little pinks and stuff. But when I say graphical, what I mean is just like block colors, like the ukiyo. But it's not really printed in the complete ukiyo style. It looks like, you know, the old posters from like the 1920s to 1950s, that sort of period, where you look at it and you're just like, oh, it's a little bit retro, that's cool. So that's what I mean when I say graphical. It might not be the correct word. Good morning, Fivefish. So yeah, if you look through his name, I found a bunch of these images. I guess it's not Dave's cup of tea, and we won't end up making this one. But if there's anyone out there who wants to who's been carving for a while, but doesn't want to do the whole tracing and creating your own hanshita, then he has so many just impressions from the key block and the finished images. So you'll see both of them. And it's kind of rare to see posted on the internet the impressions from key blocks like that. Like, one of the most difficult things about creating the Nikkor print I made was, obviously the color layering was tricky. But it was like discerning exactly all the lines and stuff, and tracing over everything. Because there was so much color on top, a lot of the time the lines were sort of not visible. It was difficult to see if there was like a second key block involved, or if it was just wiping during the printing. So yeah, having a pre-made hanshita, it wouldn't be a hanshita. Technically that would be a kyogo, because it's not drawn, it's printed from the key block. So the hanshita would go onto the key block, that would be destroyed like mine is now, and then they've taken an impression. So it's just an impression from the key block. Yeah, I didn't really look into when he died, but a lot of the Shinhanga stuff, it's a little bit dubious. While we're here, because I can't do this one, but like one day I will do this one. This is one of my gold prints, that one day I will make this print. I sent a link there. This is one of my favourite Shinhanga Bijinga. It was the wallpaper on my phone for years and years. It's called The First Dance. It's by Ogata Gekko, who's really famous. If you'll have seen some of his work if you've looked at any sort of Shinhanga. The fox with the leaf on its head sneaking around like that, that's Gekko. But it's beautiful. I've seen this one in person as well. They only made, I think, 300 copies of it. It was a limited edition print. But I got to see one of them in person. And the stuff around the eyes and the face, it's like so subtle. I guess it's a little bit more towards Kyoto style, like Nihonga style. There's like a little bit of white pigment, kofun, mixed into some of the pigments. Not all of them, I don't think. But there is definitely some white pigment involved there. And if we were just going by the date, because I did check, because I was going to send this to Dave. If you just go by the date of production, it would have been 2 years ago the copyright would have ended. But obviously it doesn't go by the date of production, it goes by the date of the death of the artist. I think he died in like 1980s. Just before you go then, cool, let's do this. I got sent something very special in the mail by someone in chat here, called to PB. You can go if you want, don't let me hang around. I am going to talk about something right now though. You don't need to chat, you don't need to say anything. I know you don't like me diverting chat too much, but I did want to show it. Let's turn to the Facebook, and then we can do some close-ups. So I got sent this in the post. A little while ago, I made some drawings of some little birds for a D&D campaign for some friends. And then Quilter here in chat saw those, and she asked me, could she make an embroidery of them? And I said, yes, of course. And she sent me it. And here it is. It's really incredible. I think she said she spent about 280 something hours on it. It's like an incredible amount of work. She really didn't have to send it to me, but it's so cool. I think she did it really, really well. Like, I'll get some close-ups on the big camera first, but I wanted to show you the whole thing first. And then she's padded and quilted it. I think it's done on linen. And how many threads did she say? It's something like... Oh, we've lost connection. Oh no. Are we okay? Are we okay now? Sorry, we lost connection for a while there. I think she said she used something like 28 different threads. I'd have to check again. And it's something I hadn't really, like, I'd seen pictures, but I hadn't thought about the three-dimensionality of it, because there's so much thread built up, and because I guess it's tightening the linen underneath. There's a three-dimensionality to it. So I'll get this framed and I'll put it up. I'll put it on the big camera so you can see all the detail. So this bird was a little druid, I think. This is a little druid for the campaign. And then this was, I played it was like a one-shot, and this is my character. It was a little bard. I had a magical kunai that sort of came back. It's really beautiful. And the little claws there, I don't know how she did. And just the three little dots there for the scroll hanging from the bag. It's cool. So thank you so much to Quilter for this. You dig that bard? Little shamisen bard. And I really like the background as well, actually. It looks like, you know, in Zen temples, the raked stones going around. Very, very nice. This is a treasured item. We'll put this on the wall. Yeah, master craftsmanship, yeah. I really like people making things. When you see the video coming out, like, I talk a little bit about that at the end. I have my little self-indulgent moment at the end, and I talk a little bit about that. Like, I just love people going out and like putting effort and making things. It's so satisfying. And it's like, I have, prior to her reaching out to me, I had like no interest really in embroidery, but when you hold something that someone's made and they like made it really well, it's really cool to see. So a big thank you to her. This will probably be on the back wall somewhere there. I'm a little bit worried about having it with the lights, because those are grow lights. So I think it'll probably fade the inks. Might need to put it in a frame with like UV cut. We'll see, or I'll find a better spot. But it'd be nice if it was on camera. So even if it's not woodblock prints, if you're making stuff, I don't mean send it to me, but if you're making stuff, then just do it. It's so much fun. It's so much pleasure to see other people having fun making things as well. Lost my mouse. Bonsai Maverick. Hello. Everyday Crowy. It's good, right? She did great. You can follow her on Instagram. Can anyone help me? I can get it actually. Here we go. Let's share a link. Share this profile. We'll get there. Share to, copy. God, this is... There's her Instagram there. Huh, we got it. Go follow her. She's really nice and she makes incredible work. Okay, back to carving. How much time do we have? Half an hour. Okay. God, we've done no carving today. I'm so sorry. Followed. Thank you. Send her some love. I'll be sending her some prints, obviously, because that's an insane amount of work. She wouldn't accept any money from me. So I'll be sending some prints. I don't know if any of you saw, she also did some of Jed Henry's designs before, from the Embrace the Delight series. Good morning, sir. Good morning to you. And Sitchong, welcome in. She does know someone who makes very nice prints. Dave? Who are you talking about? I make nice blocks only. Although you'll be seeing some printing from me. I'll be doing the Patreon printing soon. Like I said, I did a little bit of test printing just to check that the colours are going to work on the blocks. And they seem to be okay. The registration is very tight, but the print is really small, so it should be okay. The Kamakura video, it is up on my Patreon to members. That's a perk I give. It's the pre-release. And I haven't decided on a day to post it yet, but I will be posting it at some point. Thank you very much, Riku. I guess it'll be next week. And I had an idea I wanted to run past you guys and see what you thought. I was thinking about doing a watch party. Maybe we could do it on like Tuesday evening, and we could do a watch party here. Or would you guys just prefer to watch it in your own time and have a normal stream? No, I already updated that. I made the link permanent. That shouldn't be out of date. No, it works. The Discord link on the Patreon page. Okay, thank you. I updated it everywhere except the Patreon site. Yeah, okay. It's so disheartening, all this technical stuff. I'm trying to do like everything good and professional, and then there's just like links that have timed out and we'll get there one day. We'll get there. We didn't get very far into this cliff, did we? Jesus. Do you guys like the talking, or should I just shut up and carve? If I'm not talking, I can carve pretty fast. Yeah, is there an image? I'll show you now. This is the print we're working on. We're currently working on this little scroll on the side here. The image is taken from, it's like based on a real bonsai. This is the real bonsai tree made by Bjorn at ACN. I figured maybe you know, if your name is Bonsai Maverick, I'm sure you've seen Bjorn on Instagram, on YouTube and Instagram. Bjorn's in Kyoto now, yeah, he's building his house there. So this is a collaboration with him. Although he wanted to take some video and stuff, and we will at some point, and I'm going to give him a bunch of video of this. But it's been so long in the making that I haven't organised with him because I don't get time to work on this much. Only since I started streaming have I been working on this like consistently, that's the word. Yeah, the trunk will be really light. The colours in this picture here, they're not exactly a one-to-one to the final colours on the print. This is just a reference for me, mostly for the carving. I've put some colours on there so that I can get an understanding, but the way the colours are interacting and the layers and stuff, it's not one-to-one. And this is one picture of the bonsai, but I'm actually using one that he used for a magazine. This is a sort of earlier version of it. It matured a little bit after this, and that's the picture I'm using. I don't know why this is the picture I showed there, but yeah, so I think the trunk was a little bit more bleached. You put like, what's it called? What's the stuff? Bonsai, you can help me. Bonsai Maverick. What's the stuff you paint on the trunk to make it white? Something oxide. Lime sulfur, not oxide at all. Lime sulfur, thank you. So yeah, I think for the photograph for the magazine, he probably put some lime on it. I'm in ads now, sorry. I did get the pop-up a little while ago, but I never said anything. Question here from Sodia. Is that a goat on the scroll? Yeah, it's a goat. Are we all back from the ads now? Sorry about the lack of forewarning. Are we all back? Okay. Go in. So yeah, it is a goat, and it's an American. It's like the ones you get in the. What was the name of these goats? I can't remember the names of them. But they are an American goat. And it's there because the tree is an American tree. It's a Rocky Mountain juniper. So I picked an American goat and put it on a Japanese scroll because that seemed to work thematically. There should be 3 of these bonsai prints. I guess I haven't talked about that yet. But there will be 3. And there's a little bit of like symbolism that goes into each elements and stuff. They sort of relate to the tree and they tell a little bit of a story. And when you put them together, they make like a full tokonoma display. Like you've got the different aspects of a tokonoma display. What's the collaborator's name? The channel is called ACN Kyoto. So if you type that into YouTube, or you can Rocky Mountain Goat. It's not called a Rocky Mountain. It's just called a mountain goat, I think, there's something about being on stream that makes my memory really bad. What size will this print be? So the block next to my head, this size. So the print will be about this size too. This is a classical ukiyo-e woodblock print size. This is called Orban. And there will be a lot of colours. There will be a lot of stuff. I've gone sort of overboard. I wanted to make something really beautiful, and because I am the person in charge of the finances and stuff for this, I'm not like beholden to anyone else's whims. I can just sort of keep adding and building up, and if it gets really expensive, it gets really expensive. So I will need to get back in contact with Bjorn. As soon as I'm done with this key block and I'm getting the colour blocks ready, I'm going to contact him, and then we'll meet up for a day of shooting. I'll show him some pasting down. I'll save one of the transfer sheets to do some pasting down. I'll do some carving of one of the other colour blocks, and I'll just like do a day of different work so he can get some footage for a video on his channel, and I will get some footage as well. Unfortunately, a lot of this stuff I've done on stream won't be able to be used, I guess, unless I cropped it in a very, very strange way. But all the trunk here, all this part I've filmed separately, and then the goats I'll film separately, and I'll do some other little bits, and that should be enough footage of the key block, so we should be okay. And then there'll probably be a Kickstarter to go with it. Oh, Jesus. Close this. It's just paper window slider, so it's not going to keep out much sound. But the construction has started next door. It's constant here. My God. They finish one house and there's like the next day they're starting on the next one and the next plot. Oh no. What happened? Are we still up? Are we still live? I guess my iPad just died. So my iPad died, which is how I'm streaming here. Jesus. So my stream is like far over there now. You seem to be having more freezing problems. Yeah, it's strange. I guess it's probably because I didn't close everything last night. I was doing some video stuff, so I got DaVinci Resolve open, I got Discord open, I've got a million tabs open. So I guess I need to be a little bit more careful. Twitch has been having issues all day though. That makes me feel a little bit better that it's not like, because I can't afford any more technical issues. I just brought a new camera. No more, please. 1 million tabs. Yeah, I'm one of those people. It's awful. I know. I have lots of tabs open at once. That probably doesn't help. Yeah. Construction workers cut the wrong wire. Yeah. Maybe. What time are we on now? Haven't had any questions in the question time segment on the Discord. So we don't have a requested technical section. We did do a little bit earlier, but I might have an idea. Commands. The bot commands this channel are available at... I don't have an uptime now. But does it not just say in the bottom of your screen? I didn't put that there because I thought it was a redundant... Sunspots? I don't know what you're referring to. I have sunspots. You're just going through all the commands here. There's a timer, yeah. I thought there was. So I never understood why, like, that's such a common command that every channel has when it's like in the bottom. It just seemed redundant. I'm sure there's a reason for it. Someone will explain. It does if you tap the screen. If you tap the screen, it comes up. I usually watch on mobile. Does it not? Maybe I'm misremembering my own screen here. Okay. Screen mirroring. Come on. I guess it's too much faff. I'm going to go off camera now, carving this, so just bear with me for a second. I want to get this nicely done. I don't know why I started carving this outline. Hadn't intended on doing that. I guess we're doing them now though. Just getting distracted and then running off instinct. I see a line uncut and just like go for it. I should be more conscious. One of the things I like about carving is that like I just get zoned into the actual carving. But to stream, I sort of have to switch that automatic part off. Twitch. That's awful. I hate it. I didn't get any response to that, I don't think. Maybe I missed them in the chat. What do you guys think about doing a watch party on the Tuesday stream for the new video? Should we do that or just a standard stream? The video is half an hour long, so it wouldn't be a whole stream. Are the emotes chibi garlic guys? No, they're ginkgo nuts. He's ginnat. Ginnats, ne? You can say... There you go.
I'm Ginnats, and you?
You'd post it later. No, my thinking was that I could upload it, just set the upload time just before the stream, and then I'd play it on here. You can play it on your background ones if you want in silent to help me with the algorithm. That would be good. But I could watch it here, and then if there's any questions as we go along, I could pause and like answer some of the stuff. Or if there's some stuff that like I couldn't fit into the video, we could like do a deeper explanation on the video. What was that? That was my little emote character saying hello. I used to be an ALT, and that's one of the classic lines the kids used to say. I am la la la, and you? Hello class, how are you today? I'm fine, and you? Så. Tiden er i satset. Does your son understand English and Japanese? Well, he's 10 months old, so he doesn't understand much. I mean, he understands. Mostly it's his language is ums and papa. He's not quite at the forming words properly yet. I thought he was a genius, when he started, like he was really young when he started mama and papa, and then those worked so well for him, and he could express everything he needed to express with just those two words that he just stopped. He stopped learning. He stopped trying to say other words. Like he has he goes through phases of like a new sound that he'll use to describe everything. I didn't really enjoy the last one. The last one was I want that. I don't like that. That one got pretty old pretty quick, but he's on to a new one now. Happy dad moment, yeah. He's a good kid. Still too young for a tantrum. He won't have tantrums. Surely not. He'll be fine. He's a star kid, he's not going to have tantrums. Never. No, he's a happy little boy. He's going to have terrific twos. You've got it wrong. All his needs are met. No need for a tantrum, surely. You're going to make me eat those words when I come on stream. He just wouldn't go to sleep last night. Anyway, that's enough baby talk, I guess. It's probably off-putting to a lot of people who come here for woodblocks. Have you started teaching him how to carve? No, I do have a picture of him on one of the Atelier Center blocks, though. I'm not going to force him into it if he's interested in carving. But for printers, like traditionally, printers that they pass the craft on from father to son, and people like Matsaki-san, like worked alongside his son for like all their lives. But it's not really like that with carving, because carving you either sort of you can do it or you can't. There's a lot more of a finesse to it. You can teach anyone to print. Not everyone's going to be a great printer, but you can teach anyone to print. Carving, it sort of depends more on the person's personality, if they can be, because there's no real work for low-level carvers, especially nowadays. Like, if you're a printer, printers are in such demand, and there's like levels. There's easy work and there's difficult work. There's not really so much easy work for carvers, so you've got to be really good if you want to be able to support yourself. So typically, it's not passed on from father to son. I say father-son because, of course, in the past they were all men working in this field. Nowadays, the balance is completely reversed. There's much more women working in mokuhanga nowadays. On both sides, the carvers and the printers. Sekioka-san has 4 apprentices, all of them women. Have you seen other Asuka Sensei apprentice with hot temper? Have you seen other Asuka Sensei apprentice with hot temper but taking apprenticeships? I'm not sure what you mean, other apprentices with hot tempers. Like, hot tempers? He wouldn't take you as an apprentice if you had a hot temper and were constantly arguing with him, I don't think. No matchbox prints to go on. You say matchbox prints, but they're really small, you know. That's a lot of them are really delicate work. Easily agitated? No, I don't think. I don't think people who want to be apprentices you kind of just have to take it on the chin, you know. The answer is no. He'd love to hear the story behind the project, who reached out to who, what's the final goal, blah, blah, blah. We have 8 minutes left on the stream, so I'll save that. If you come back next time, I'll give a bit more, like an in-depth backstory to this print, if that works. I don't think I got time to say that story today. People who are easily agitated and not suitable for being carvers, I'd think. I guess, I don't know if I fully agree with that. Carvers are weird, you know. There's no defining trait. Well, there are defining traits for all of them, but there's no one personality type who are carvers. The only thing that seems to be linked between them is a slight arrogant streak, I think, sort of a self-aggrandized arrogant streak, and something a little bit weird. They're all weird, you know. They're all weird. All of them are weird. They've got their own quirks. They're not normal people, you know. People who choose this as a line of work, none of them are normal. Everyone's a freak. And I say that in a loving way because I like freaks. Normal's boring, but they're all a little bit weird. There is something calming about carving. It's a relaxing thing. It's also a little bit stressful. When you're beginning carving these thin lines, if you make a mistake, then that's it. It's done. You know. And it's really relaxing. But there's a lot of weirdo carvers, you know. I can't name anyone who's not. Dave's not normal, you know. He's a nice guy, but he's not a normal person, you know. Normal is just a bunch of people with the same weirdness. That's an interesting way to put it. No, but there definitely are. There is a normal, and I grew up in a small little village, and I didn't really fit in a small little village, to be honest. I was a bit of a freak. So I'm squarely putting myself in that category of a weirdo as well. You know, this is not normal to sit down and. My sister pointed this out the other day. I'm not going to. Anyway, we were talking and she was like, I don't know how we got onto it, but she was like, "This is not normal what you do. You know, you're a weirdo. It's not normal to sit down and obsess about something for 16 hours a day, and then sleep and then get up and do it again and enjoy your life. That's not normal." But yeah, normal is it's a bit of a tricky word. Yeah, please come back and I'll explain the story next time. Would an apprentice 150 years ago have carved the practice blocks like you showed a few streams ago, or they put probably you would never have been put to work straight away. Carvers, they can't do that. Printers, you can do that day one. You can put them straight to work. But I'd be I don't know this is 150 years ago, and there's no there's a lot of documentation about stuff, but there's no training manual they produced for how they trained apprentices and stuff. It was all word of mouth, and it was passed on from teacher to student. So carving, it's not possible that they were put to work like that at day one. There's no way. From my practice and what I've seen people learning with, it's just impossible. There's no work that's that sort of rough. So it probably would have been just this is something that the master carved. Like, let's say like a book page with lots of kanji. My thinking is it just be kanji at the start. It wouldn't have been those lines and stuff. It would be mostly just kanji. And they take an impression from the master's block, take it off, post it on a new block and say, go do that. And they'd be left to do that for 6 months, you know. And then it'd be watching the master and just carving the kanji. And then it'd be like every now and again, when you started getting good, like the master would say, clear this block for me, type of thing. They'd pass it over like that. But I can't imagine you could have been productive from day one, even in the past. But good question. The truth is, this is speculation on my behalf, but like, I think it's pretty well informed speculation. Is this a full-time job then? Yeah. I'm a professional carver. This is my job. This is what I do. This is a personal project, but I have other projects that I do as my main work. I'm working for 2 different companies and myself. Making stuff much sooner than you're allowed. No, I don't think that would make a difference. There would be a lead time that would be a surprisingly long amount of time before they'd be allowed to carve anything. Because especially in those days, the work that goes out to the studio, the name that goes on that work would not be the apprentice's name, it would be the master's name. Even from the very low stuff to like the best stuff. Even if the master was getting old and he couldn't carve that well because he couldn't see anymore. Like the best work in that studio would still have his name on it at the end of the day. And I guess each carver, if a little bit of an unscrupulous carver and didn't really care about anything, he'd be okay having his name put on anything. But anyone with like a bit of pride in his kobo, his workshop, wouldn't let his name go out. Like, this is my apprentice, look at this, and it's like junk. Sidetracking him into overtime. Nope. I am done. We are done. There's been some new faces here. Thank you for showing up. Please come again. Join the Discord. Keep an eye on my YouTube channel because there is a new video coming out very soon. They don't come out very often, but sorry. I've got a lot of stuff to do. So check the YouTube out. Want to raid? Let's check. Let's see who's online. If I've got someone... yeah, let's do Jay Rensler. He's on today. It's Friday, so we can raid him. We'll do that. We will do a raid then. We will go to Jay Rensler. I'm not sure what he's working on today. It says pen and ink. So I guess he's not carving today. He is a carver, but he's doing some arty stuff today. Probably some of his...
とてもサンキュー。
とてもサンキュー。ありがとう。とてもサンキュー。皆さんにまた聞いてください。ありがとうございます。今日は楽しかった。バイバイ。Thank you です。Right now. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Bye. Now I need to go and end stream. See you everyone.